Everybody. Hey, I hope y'all had a really good Labor Day. I know, first of all, my name is Di.
And I'm Robin, and it's exciting to be here this morning.
Yes. And let me say this. It's so weird when you live up north, everybody's having, this is my opinion, okay? All right. So when you live up north, like New York, all that, those kind of areas, Labor Day comes, the kids go to school after Labor Day, and sorry, the dog is doing its puppy thing. Anyway, you go to school after Labor Day. So Labor Day comes and it's like the last hurrah of the summer, right? So everybody's having barbecues, everybody's having parties, and down here in the South, it's like the kids went back to school at the end of July or something, and it's like it's no big deal.
No, people do have barbecues and everything down here.
But I don't really get to see it. Like I see nothing closes up. The beach doesn't close up. They're still renting jet skis and having fun.
Well, it's the last of the season, Labor Day.
That's why I'm saying is the difference in the different areas. To me, because I've lived in both,
there's a lot of differences.
Is very different. But whatever you did this past weekend, I hope you all had an amazing time.
I did.
I know you did. We're going to tell you a little bit about our weekend.
We are going to tell you a little bit.
Good morning, Rainey.
Outside of the fact that Dunkin' Donuts never has.
Oh my God, here's the thing. Did you ever go to Dunkin' Donuts? Now, this happened twice, right? I am not a big sweet eater, so I only went one morning, like back a while ago, and I was going to pick up donuts for the people at your job.
Yeah,
I was picking up donuts for Robin's job, the people there. And I got to the order window, and I said, I would like a dozen donuts. We don't have any donuts, was the answer. I said, wait a minute, where? And I literally looked up at the sign, and I was at Dunkin' Donuts. So the next thing you know, I went away going, who doesn't have Dunkin' Donuts? Like, who doesn't have donuts? You're a donut shop. So yesterday, or the day before rather, we went into, we had some people visiting, so we went into a casino. And to have dinner, really? No, seriously.
No, seriously, we really did.
We just went in to have dinner. We didn't do any gambling. But there was a Dunkin' Donuts there, and I was like, oh my God, I would love coffee. Well, one of the people that were with us is like, I never saw a pastry freak. I love her to death, but she loves her pastries. So she goes over to the Dunkin' window, and she found out they didn't have any donuts. And I'm sitting here wondering still to this day, why would Dunkin' Donuts have no donuts? Well, I found out that they ship them in now. Remember they used to make them in the back and everything was fresh and warm and wow. That's all I have to say about that. And I'm not putting down Dunkin' Donuts. I love their coffee.
That's interesting that they ship them all in.
They ship them in from wherever they make the donuts. Time to make the donuts.
Well, that's not cool if you're really a donut eater. I mean, I go to Dunkin' Donuts for coffee, but that's not cool because if you want a fresh donut, how are you getting a fresh donut?
You're not. You have to go to one of those mom and pop places around here that they have. And I truly do. What's that place we go to? I was going to give them a shout out. But at any rate, so here's why I think I'm hesitating, because I know what I want to talk about today. And
I didn't write her any notes today.
I have no notes at all, no bullet points at all. Rainey, I'm sorry you had to work over the weekend.
I did. I worked yesterday, Rainey, so don't worry.
So anyway, did you ever do things that, all right, I'm going to just say, I didn't know my ethnicity because I was adopted, right? So I didn't know my ethnicity. So I went to Ancestry.com, right? Just to find out what I was, right? Well, it finds out I am Italian, which I always thought I might have some in me because I normally get very dark. I have not been outside this summer, so I am pale white. At any rate, well, I found out who I was, but I also found out, oh my God, I have siblings. Do you know what that's like? It's like I know a lot of people do it, and a lot of people are finding, don't say any names, Rainey, because I know you know one, and I'm trying to, keep it private for them. So I never ever thought I would find any siblings whatsoever. Well, what happened was, not spontaneously, I'm just nervous. Anyway, so I invited one of them down. It is crazy that you know them, but I invited one of them down for the weekend to get to know them. And surprisingly, she came. I feel like I'm leaving you out, but Robin was with me. She came with me. And I met a cousin that I never met. And I wasn't sure how it was going to go because I met her one time, like, I don't know, maybe for an hour. And that first meeting where it's like, you just kind of sit there and you don't know anything.
Well, I think there's shock. I think initially there's shock. You know,
I was shocked.
regardless of the circumstances, everything seems kind of surreal, I think. So the initial meeting and everything kind of was probably shocking to you. You still had not had enough time, I don't think, to process.
Well, that is true, I think. But I'm just saying, I had the best time ever. And it turns out, like, we didn't know what we were like. I didn't know, whether we really looked like each other or whatever. I didn't know on that first initial meeting because, like, as I said, that meeting, I was just like, and you're asking questions and you're doing this and you're doing that. But when you spend a couple of or a few days with people that you meet, it could go really good or really bad because I've heard some more stories, right? And I just want you to know that for me, the best thing, if you don't know where you came from or what your ethnicity is, I so would go to Ancestry.com or 23andMe, or even if you think you know all your siblings, you might not. There might be someone straddling around out there that you don't know.
That is very true. That happens. It does happen in the least expected situations.
Yep.
But I'm going to say this first. So I was very happy, very, very happy, and very impressed with Di's family. I love them, love them, love them. Had a blast of a time. I am so happy that she's got good, sane individuals in her family.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a great time. We did the escape room that I've been dying to do forever, that never had enough people to do it. So it was a lot of fun.
That's something I was going to talk about. You find out how logical you are.
Yeah. It's like, don't be judgy, because we were all just kind of like taking it in.
I'm not being judgy at all. I was just laughing my butt off.
I may not have worked as hard as I normally work, but maybe I'm thinking I might go back again and see if it's really, if I'm really not as good as I think I am, or if I was just enjoying the moment.
So that's a thing for you to do. This is what this is all about. We absolutely we were just so tired from the weekend that we just came on here and just started talking about our weekend.
Well, no, I had some points that I wanted to make, actually.
You did?
I did. Because,
all saying that is... Oh, well, I don't know about all of them. I have not met all of them. So I'm just saying, go ahead.
So I was thinking, a few years back, I had heard, and I know this is a really Debbie Downer kind of subject, but,
oh boy.
But I was just thinking, and I wanted other people's opinion. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm from Louisiana, and they
strike one. No, I'm only kidding. To those New Orleans,
and a few years back, I had heard this thing about all these backlogged DNA testing cases for like crimes and stuff, and so I got to thinking. No, seriously, I got to thinking. You know how quick they test you for DNA for Ancestry and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't understand why everybody's so backlogged on crime testing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like millions. I mean, like they're really like seriously backloaded. I watch a lot of ID.
Yeah, but you know what? The crime people, the people don't spit in a tube and hand it to them. They have to go in and find it, like Clue.
Yeah, and
That might be
maybe
why.
they're not hiring enough people, but it's amazing. I mean, I don't know why they just don't. I mean, because they do. They partner with Ancestry and places like that when they're looking for somebody.
Well, yeah, but
So why not just partner with them to process the DNA test?
I don't know. I wish they would, because it would solve a lot of
crimes.
it would save a lot of people in like the future from being part of a crime that they shouldn't be.
It's kind of crazy.
But I get that. But did any one of you ever do this DNA test and find out? I'm just so curious that if you're watching throughout the day, did you ever just do it? Because a lot of people think that their family is their only family, take it or leave it. But sometimes we do meet, like I was shocked. I was shocked to find out that I had siblings somewhere else. And I don't know why, because I was adopted. And Raman's saying, how could you be shocked? And I'm like, I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know. I didn't meet my bio mom till I was 36 years old. So I was like, this is crazy. Like I just was not expecting it. So if you have never done it, I'm telling you. I mean, yes, I have heard war stories. I've seen it, shows on TV where it could go royally bad, and then they just stop talking to each other, and people get mad in the family, like, oh my God, this happened and that happened. But I'm going to say that no matter what happened and how it happened, it wasn't the child's fault. So the child and the other child should get along really well, because most of the time, because that's new. You had no part in where the crazy sperm landed and who shared it, you have no part in that. So the kids should get along. That's all I'm saying. But I want you to know, I had the best time ever. And just to sit and find out what someone's like, and even though you grew up in separate places, it's amazing how many things are the same.
Well, I'm sure it was like, different for you than it was for me, because it's actually your sibling. But I was just...
Oh, you mean the experience this weekend?
Experience,
Oh, yeah.
But I really, truly, and I don't say this often because I'm usually, one of those standoffish people around people, but I really, truly enjoyed getting to know them. It's like, we could just sit and talk. I was, we didn't have to do things. We did do things, like the escape room and stuff, but we didn't have to do those things. We were entertained enough just by having conversation, and I miss those days of getting to know people.
It is awkward at first because you don't know actually anything about the person.
I wasn't awkward.
Robin wasn't awkward. But she's the one that kept pointing out things. Oh, Di does that. Oh, you do this, and blah, blah, blah. And that to me was so funny, because I'm just me. No matter what you think of me, you get what I am.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. That's very true. She
I'm
hasn't changed.
very down to earth.
Sorry about that squeaky noise. They were told not to mess with that, but anyhow. So, but no, I found it really exciting. I was very happy for you. I could not have been happier. But in all fairness, it's not like I had not talked to, her sister before, because I talked to her on the phone. Yeah. And I knew I liked her then, but like seeing the similarities, and it was just a lot of fun. It really was. I was very, very happy.
Sorry.
Very impressed with how everything turned out. So thank you guys. It was very enjoyable. But here's my take on this, because I'm just going to go ahead and be transparent with it. Not really revealing a whole lot, because I'd like to protect the privacy of other people. Yeah. But, there are situations that are different. Di can sit there and say,
I will.
Di can sit there and say, oh, go ahead and, take the DNA test, and oh, it's so much fun. And the outcome turned out great for her. It really did. And I'm very, very thankful. But now when these DNA processes started, we had very differences of opinions about
Oh
DNA.
my God, it took her forever to take it.
And I didn't want to take it, and I'll be honest with you, if I hadn't felt like I should take it, I would have never taken it, just because I feel that strongly about DNA. Not because I wouldn't want to find any siblings, but I just think that there's too much out there,
Here's my opinion on why she wouldn't take it. We watched a show one time where there was a twin and a twin that committed murders, and she watches way too much ID.
I do. And a lot of people get blamed for stuff they didn't do. I'm not saying that there aren't criminals out there, but I'm saying some people do get blamed for stuff they didn't do, know? And, I have a judge in the family that flat out said, do not give up your DNA. So that should tell you a lot.
But I'm so glad I did.
I know, and I'm very happy that you did. That's why I'm saying I want to point out both sides of it. I'm very, very happy that you did. Like, I really am. So it's kind of changed my whole perspective a little bit, because I was so dead set against giving up my DNA. Dead set against it.
What do you guys feel like? You know what? As you're watching through the day, I would really love to know whether you would or would not take a DNA test. And I'd love to know your experiences if you did and you met some people. Because it was fascinating to me. Like, it's almost like finding somebody that's like not a clone, but just with so many similarities. And when you're looking at someone and you feel like you're looking in a mirror, mostly from here up, but it was so funny. It was just, I suggested. Now, Robin, I think the jury's still out because of the ID channel that she watches way too much of. But Rainey says she won't do it. I don't know. And you even know one of the people that I'm related to, and you still won't do it. That's kind of...
Okay, well, this is why I'm going to say this, Rainey. This is a very important thing. And I know, believe me, because I was that person, and I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to convince anybody to do it by any means. But I just want you to see a different side of it. I was totally against it. 100% totally against it. And my dad did the whole DNA thing. They found all their siblings, the whole 9 yards. Well, it turned out that I actually have a sibling I knew nothing about.
I didn't know if you were going to go there.
I am, but I'm not going to go too much because I like to protect the privacy. Right. But I am...
Talk about shockaroo on her part.
It was very much a shock. I'm not going to say that it wasn't. It was very, very much a shock. I mean, I grew up with the same two brothers my whole life, So it was a shock. But I will say this, going through this process, right? I always wanted a sister, so that was a good thing. But I'm very glad that I did do it, even though I was one of those people that absolutely refused to do it. So I guess knowing what I know now and gaining what I've gained since, I would have done it. But I totally, totally understand people who say they're not going to do it.
Well, here's my...
I think you really have to weigh the pros and cons, because so far it's been extremely beneficial to both of us.
Here's my take on it, though. Like I said, I was really just looking for what ethnicity I was. But most people come from a regular family. They have their mother, they have their father, they have their siblings. They grow up like that. So why should I take the DNA? Is always a question. Why should I do that? I know everybody in my family. Well, shockaroo.
It was a shock to me. It very was.
No, you don't know everybody. So that's why I'm saying, and it's, for me, it was like...
So worth it.
So worth it. Like, seriously, I actually can't wait to go up to New York and meet, like...
Everybody.
Meet everybody.
Well, we'll just say everybody.
Almost everybody.
Well, but no, I mean, it really is one of those things. Like, and you have to be careful too, because not every situation turns out to be a great one, and there's lots of, it's like opening Pandora's box. I mean, when you do it, you literally don't know what's going to come from it. So now again, like let's say this. I was not a person that was going to take the DNA test. However, my dad did. And so therefore, it was just a matter of validating for me to take it. But so I'm glad that I did. I really am in that sense. But you got to be aware, there's a lot of things, there's family secrets that are revealed, there's medical discoveries, there's criminal investigations. I mean, there's a lot of things that can come from DNA.
I know I started yesterday, or the day before rather, I have to say, they started talking about how some of their family died, and I'm like, oh my God, I better go get a checkup, kidding around and everything. I'm very healthy. But Rainey just said, if God forbid I had a sibling, I wouldn't want to be the one to tell my mom. But see in my case though, it was 10 years before the dad got married and had other children. So sometimes it's not even about that. It's about, oops, and you don't know about the child at all.
And then in my situation, one of the things that's very touchy for me is that my brother and my grandparents have both died. So I feel a sense of loss for my newfound sibling that they never had an opportunity to meet them, and so I literally feel that,
Yeah.
and knowing that they're not going to be able to do so.
Oh, all right. Rainey's case is different. Her mom and dad have been together since they're 12. So yeah, that would be
it's probably not like
kudos to them.
Yeah, right. But you never really know what's going to come from it. So keep that in mind too. But I will say this, it was well worth it, I think, definitely for both of us, I think.
Yeah, it was so good. And I guess I was just joyous about coming on here and saying what happened, and I'm just going to say it's probably going to be a real short show today, but if you have not taken the DNA test and you're really curious about anything, your ethnicity, your siblings, your medical history, my suggestion is to definitely do it and just stick with it until you find what you're looking for. It's a puppy going crazy.
He wants to be known.
But find what it is you're looking for, because I swear to you, this is a true statement. I didn't really feel, I know it's a cliche, but I did not feel complete, like in myself, because I didn't know where I came from or anything. I had no clue. And I know you still go on in life and you do your thing, but I didn't know where I got my musical talent or anything that I did that was on stage, right? I had no clue, because honestly, in my immediate family, not a blessed person could play an instrument except for my brother, who tooted around on the trumpet for a while, But in all seriousness, like, I always thought it was from my Uncle Johnny, who played with like Glenn Miller and Tommy Dorsey and all that. And I said, oh, that's where I get my music from. But nope, I found out there's other people in the family that were just all musical and acting, and one was a movie star, and I'm not going to say who, but I was like, wow. So there you go. It's in the genes.
I know. And you know what? And it was so much fun being able to piece it all together and be able to see, because, especially when you're like me and you're looking from the outside, like, because I was just open and accepting no matter what, because, I wasn't in Di's situation to be nervous or, to not know what to expect.
Oh, they told me they were nervous too, but I didn't.
Yeah, but I wasn't nervous because I was just open to, getting to know people. But I was able to see the similarities and the differences in each of them, but more so the similarities that maybe they might not have been able to see because they're so close to it, or it's them, But it was a very, very awesome. I'm so thankful that she's a part of the family. She's a part of.
Yes, and I do want to mention that a long time ago, I did meet people on my bio mom side, and they were very, very nice. I met one guy, but I mean, it's not like we don't stay in touch. We talk a little bit, but they didn't even know I existed, which is weird because they all knew that my bio mom had children, but I guess they chose to stay away from my bio mom.
And you know, and that's a thing that people do, and they probably shouldn't do. They really shouldn't. They have a tendency to, on top of their fear, they have a tendency to judge people for who their relatives or, you know, other people in their family are, and you really shouldn't do that. Di has had nothing to do with how her mother was.
No.
You know?
And they didn't even want, there's a couple that didn't even want to meet me in case I was like her. So that it's unfair because I never got to know her and I don't know everything.
Yeah, so I say put your big girl panties on and don't be
But
judgy.
I did meet I think it was a half sister of hers or something, but oh my God, she was the nicest. I'm gonna tell her that her name was Lorraine. And Lorraine, if you're out there, I loved meeting you. You were one of the nicest people that I have ever met in that side of my family. So I wanted to put that out there. I met you a while ago and I didn't want to leave you out. It was just that this is my bio dad's side. So it was kind of, I just did not want to leave you out because I loved meeting you.
That is so awesome. I didn't get to meet her.
No, you didn't, but you will. Sometime you come up there with me and you'll meet. My dogs are killing each other. But anyway, I didn't mean to take up one of our talk shows with all of this, but I just wanted to say that sometimes finding out where you came from and all that stuff is very well worth it. And it's amazing. I do get that sometimes, like I said, it doesn't work. And then you just stay away because some people that you meet are like that crap crazy, right? So you have to, you kind of got to walk away from that. I can't tell you, Rainey. So at any rate, there you go. That's my take on DNA, and I hope you guys write throughout the day of your experiences with it, good, bad, or indifferent.
Absolutely.
Or whether you would.
Just, yeah, and if you do, just keep an open mind because you never know the blessings that you'll find.
And I'm telling you what, I'm going to leave this. I can't wait until the day that Robin meets her sibling. I am looking so forward to it.
I am too, because it's not like we don't talk a lot.
No, they do. They do talk. They talked a lot more than I talked to the lady that I met. I didn't know how to say that. I almost said her name.
I say there.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it because she seems like she's going to be a blast. So that's it for us today. And I really hope you guys write, and so we can find out what your experiences are. We'll be back tomorrow with a regular show, giving you some kind of wisdom or motivation or doing something good. So tell us what you did over the weekend. We just like to get engagement from you guys. So
that's right. And because we had fun this weekend and did not work, which is the first for us. This is the first time we worked none. Last week's videos are still on Facebook and have not been uploaded to YouTube, but they will go up tonight. So
and don't
watch the replays.
Yeah, don't forget, if you need extra income, if you're wondering like, oh my God, I can't last on this retirement, this is nothing, my Social Security is really not doing well for me, get in touch with us and we will help you. We're not one of those people who are going to make you spend $1 gazillion and not make any money. So I just want you to know that it's not guaranteed. It's your work ethic and all that. So
yeah, you can go to diandrobin.vip and check out the income opportunities we're a part of.
And make sure you write Di and Robin. It's DIANDROBIN.VIP. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. And don't forget to go out and be kind to everyone. Take care. See y'all.
Bye.